I wish to introduce to you the three planner seasons, three top planner seasons. The first is the season of discovery, okay? Season of discovery. And then there is the other season, which is the season of recovery. And then the third season, which is the season of mastery. Okay. Those are three. So keep these three in mind as we go along. You may write it down so that as we go along, you may identify what your season is. Okay. So let's get into the season of discovery. The season of discovery for a planner person is when new things are happening in your life. So it's a time of learning, it's a time of awareness. This season is often associated with exploring your identity, current identity, or your new identity, your current interest or your new interest, your current passions or your new passions, as well as gaining foundational knowledge and skills. It's a time of curiosity, growth, and preparation for the future. So, what does this season sort of look like? It looks like when you're starting a new job, a business, or you're changing careers, you're getting married, or perhaps you've just suffered a divorce, or you're just there's just a major change, something bringing you into a new place where you've maybe never been before. Maybe you're having a baby, maybe you're relocating, maybe you're selling your home or you're buying a new home. All of that. When it's a season when something new is coming and you have to sort of learn again and become aware of this new space that you're getting into. Now, this is very key. Why is this key? This is very key when it comes to planning, because many times when we're in a season of discovery, if we're looking at somebody who is in a season of recovery or someone who's in a season of mastery, we might start to feel inadequate. We might start to feel like, oh, I don't have the right planner. Oh, I'm not planning like everybody else. And all of these miss identity may lead us to be inconsistent with our planners or may lead us to even select the wrong planner. So, Kay, I am posing this question. You are the planner expert, okay? Let's just say I'm getting married. Hoo-hoo, I'm getting married. I'm already married, but let's just pretend that this was 20 years ago before I got married. If I'm getting married or something is happening to me in my life, what sort of planners would you recommend that I should find or I should seek out? Over to you.
Yeah, so we have a variety of planners that we could recommend for this season of discovery. And I think some really key points that you made are don't compare yourself to others if you're in this season, like whether it's a really great thing, like a wedding or a baby, or if it's a harder thing in life. You are in this certain season of life. It could be a once in a lifetime event like a wedding or like a baby. And you really need to embrace that and be present and really, just be in the moment. So, some of the items that we're going to share with you today, we can go to the next slide, um, we have wedding planners. So, this is one example of the season of discovery. So, you want to fully embrace this season of your life, not only to get you through it, to effectively manage all that you have going on with planning a wedding, but also just to record your memories. Like this, a type of planner like this becomes a coffee table book, becomes a memory keeper for this once in a lifetime event. So we have the Bloom Wedding Planner. We're also showing off, we can go to the next, we have the Bloom Pregnancy Planner. And these are just so special. They have, such unique pieces of content in them, including vision boards, memory keeping, medical logs, which is like speaking to the reporters, if you are familiar with the persona, tracking everything through first trimester, second trimester, third trimester, and even into baby's first year. So there's a lot of different items that could speak to you in this season. And something I wanted to note is maybe you're in this unique season of life and you're planning a wedding or you're preparing for a baby, and that's for that specific, event in your life. But maybe you need another simple tool for your day to day. So in addition to my wedding planner or my pregnancy planner, I'm using just a simple to-do list or just a simple planner just to keep me on track. Maybe it's not the season that I'm in to be using like the full ultimate planner or dot journaling planner and going full creative mode, because you're really exhausting your creative, resources into this life event.
Yes.
So, like we said, accept it, embrace it, be present, enjoy the moment. This is a once in a lifetime experience. And I think on the next slide, we even have a example from one of our community members. This is actually from Nikki in the community, which I believe I saw her on the call. Caitlin saying yes, Carrie Grace. So I love her example. So one of the, discovery seasons, we said you could be moving into a new home, you could be relocating. These were some examples from her ultimate planner. She has the heading is, I think, from house to home, but I was blown away in seeing these examples from her. Whatever your focus is at that moment, it's exciting. You want all of this attention to detail on this specific event. And these are perfect examples of how you can use these different tools and planners to execute and record and memory keep all of these special moments in life. So, you can use those special wedding, pregnancy, house planners. And in addition, you can use a simple tool for your day to day. It doesn't need to be really complicated. Really embrace the season that you're in and do what works for you.
Oh my gosh, Kay, you nailed it. One of the keywords that you used is embrace. Because we're in such a creative community, it is so easy to feel overwhelmed when you're looking at someone else and they have their entire life mapped out until they die. I'm not kidding. Like they have everything. And then you start to feel like maybe I'm not taking my life seriously. And or you're fighting in your mind mentally to become someone else. And as a result, you cannot be consistent because it looks like you're always pursuing, you're always chasing, you're always chasing. No, the message here is with this season, take ownership of it. Kay used the word embrace it. And there's something else too. One of the reasons why we want you to embrace this season is you don't want to get to another season and then now start wishing, oh, I wish I took the time. For instance, when you have your baby is never going to be 1 month old in your belly or 3 months old. You're never going to go back to that pre-birth period. So if you didn't journal your thoughts, if you didn't write down those moments, if you didn't memory keep, you don't get a chance to go back. And that's the reason why we're saying use your planner to embrace your season. Use your planner to embrace your season. The beauty is in embracing your season. We want to know now, anybody here going to embrace their season? We've seen some people say, I'm in a season of discovery. We want to know, are you in a season of discovery? Tell us in the comment section. Tell us in the comment section. We want to know, anybody in the season of discovery? All right. Katie says that is so true. You don't want to look back and wish you had taken more time to soak up all the special details. Absolutely. Absolutely. Karen Williamson says yes. Carrie Gray says the ultimate planner has lots of blank pages that you can use for all kinds of things. Yes, and that's the beauty. Okay, so if you have a planner that you're using now, adapt it to embrace the season that you're in. If you are on the market for a planner, as we know, some people are switching up right now. Bloom has some amazing planners to guide you through the season. All right. So Mama Mia says, season of trying to keep it together. Tell us about it. That is the realest comment we have had so far today. Yes. We believe it. We believe it. Someone says, I'm in a season of discovery with a new small business. You see? So the idea here is once you embrace your season, you adjust your planner, you personalize your planner to embrace the season and to reach your goals. Yes? Yay. So round of applause for those in the season of discovery. All right, let us move forward now. Let's move on to the next season, okay? Next season is season of recovery. All right? Season of recovery. And this is when life happens to you or your loved ones. This season is usually a period of healing, rejuvenation, and renewal following a challenging or difficult circumstance, such as the loss of a loved one, health diagnosis, job loss, property loss, financial challenges that many of us are going through right now, business challenges, just what you know what that challenge is. It's a time to be focused on self-care, regaining strength, getting back on track. I love what Crystal Gainey said. She said, season of finding a system that works, but using what I have for the most part. That's great. That's her saying, hey, maybe she's gone through a season of investing, and she's now going through a season of retraction and getting back on track, getting her finances in order to her own goals. All right. That is the season of recovery. This season often involves moments of reflection, pausing. Do you see that? Embracing rest and relaxation and taking steps to move forward with a sense of healing and positivity. Okay. Are there any persons who's in the season of recovery? If it's you, we want to know. We want to know. So, okay, I'm back again. Let's imagine, what if I'm in the season? What if I'm someone like Crystal who is taking a pause on things? What sort of planner would you recommend? What sort of format would you recommend? Over to you now.
Yes, this is really the time to invest in you. And there's a lot of options that we can offer, but we wanted to show some excellent examples from our community because on the first planner clinic, we showed some of those intro pages in the Bloom planners. And this life coach type content is in all of the Bloom planners. So you can see an example here of a joy list. I love myself because I feel best when.
Mm,
So, you know, at Bloom, we are all about investing in our community to become the best version of themselves and to really take the time to stop and reflect and grow.
yes.
So we include a lot of tools that you can do just that, whether it's in those intro pages where you're just taking a moment to say, what brings me joy? Where should I be focusing my time and energy?
Mm,
You know, going back into some self-reflection and taking some time to say, I love myself because, or I feel best when. So
mm,
there's so much content like this that you can use in the Bloom planners. But another thing that we wanted to note is just taking the time to journal and
mm,
keeping it simple. So I know I went through a divorce. I was previously married. So going through that, journaling was so healing. It was like medicine to me.
mm,
You need to, get some of these painful things out of your body, and a planner is a perfect place to do that.
yes.
Recording your feelings and emotions and releasing that and getting that out. So we have some great examples of that. I just wanted to note how important journaling is. and
Yes.
just keeping it simple. We also wanted to share our Bloom Chronic Illness Planner. So we know there's so many people that could be struggling with an illness, or they're also taking care of a loved one. I know Caitlin had a perfect example and may want to chime in here about how her mom used the chronic illness planner.
Yeah, when I first started with Bloom, my grandmother had just had a couple of really intense strokes. And so my mom retired and became a full-time caregiver to her. And so I was able to gift her with the chronic illness planner, and it was a huge help for her. So it's not just for someone who's going through it, but it can definitely be a tool for a caregiver. It helped her kind of get on track and figure out, the medicine schedule and the doctor's appointments and tracking symptoms so that when they went to the doctor, she had a full list of everything there ready because she was stressed out and my grandmother was trying to heal. And so between the two of them, stuff would have been forgotten if they weren't able to kind of track it and have it with them.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for sharing that. And I I totally can relate. And I think there's a lot of us on this call that feel like we're in that season of recovery. I am at the building stages of my brand. Many of you know with NOTIQ, and I will tell you my style of business and the nature of the category that I'm in requires a lot of investments. Are there any small business owners in the room? And so, following the pandemic, as you all know, many of us have had to make a lot of financial adjustments because many of our customers, they want to buy, but they too are making financial adjustments. And I found myself in a place where I was caught in between my goals, the things I really want to do, as well as what I have. And so I had to move into sort of change up my planners. Usually I'm a note taker. I'm a note taker, but in this season I had to realize that this is a season of pausing, of making adjustments, and I need to keep a better track of my time. And so I'm going to share with you. This is the NOTIQ 360 agenda. I shared a little bit about it in our previous live. I'm just going to share with you all what my life looks like on the inside. Do you see what my life, you see my sketch for my products, my schedule on the inside, and everything that I'm doing. And oh, friends, that was the only way I could rise above anxiety, which is in this season, Kay, it's a lot. Sometimes I feel like I'm trying to breathe above all of the challenges that I'm having to cope with. And so, one way for me is to just say, you know what, this is the season. It's a tough season right now. I had to stop denying that it's a tough season. And then I had to adapt my planner to make it work for me and not run away from my challenges. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Because oftentimes we feel as though, particularly women, we feel as though we have to stay on top of everything. We have to master, we have to be perfect. Friends, your season of recovery is your season of recovery. Don't run away from it. Don't hide from it. Adapt. Use what you have to make it work for you. Kay, any additional steps? It looks like a lot of people are in this season. Do you have any additional tips that you would like to share before we move away from it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a key word that you used is adapt. And like we said before, not comparing yourself to others. Like, unfortunately, most everyone goes through a season of recovery. It's a unique and challenging time in your life, and you have to adapt and do what works for you.
Yes.
Some of these examples from our community are just keeping it simple. Like in the chronic illness planner, you're tracking everything. It speaks to the reporter persona. So you're tracking, your healthy habits, your symptom tracking, your appointments. I really wanted to point out the everyday victories, which ties into the next slide. If you are going through a tough season of life and you're in that season of recovery, just jotting down one thing a day that you're grateful for, or one small victory a day. Keep it simple. We have another example from the community of like weekly affirmations. And that kind of goes back to those front Bloom pages of just taking the time to reflect and jot down, something that you did well today. It can be as simple as that. You really need to celebrate those small wins and victories, and
Yes.
know that the time will pass. You will get through this, and this is just a season of life.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Kay. I hope that many of our community members are gaining insight from this. I truly love what Eliana said. She said all of our paths of recovery are different. We couldn't emphasize that enough. Thank you, Eliana, for such a meaningful comment. Yes, and that's why we're showing you different angles. If you look at some of these instances that Kay has shared with us on screen, it's a lot of color, vibrancy, right? That works for this wonderful community member. They want to, looking at the colors, I'm even happier just looking at the colors, right? And for me, VJ is more of a clean minimalist style. Just seeing clean spaces, black ink on the inside of my planner makes me happy. I'm not kidding. It just makes me happy. I want to know what's going on in my life, and I truly want to get a grasp of it. So whether you're someone like VJ or you are someone like the community member who shared her weekly affirmations, there is room for you. You can embrace your season of recovery to move you to the next level. Thank you so much, Kate, for sharing that with us. I want to make sure that we didn't miss anything else. Okay, awesome. So let's move to the third season. And this season, we call it the season of mastery. All right. Because some people are not in their season of discovery, or maybe they've experienced that before. Some people are not in their season of recovery. Maybe they've gone through that and they're now at a place of mastery. And that just means when you've identified what's working for you. It doesn't mean that you may not fall into other seasons, but in this season, you're in a season of mastery. You know what's working for you. It's a season of being consistent, and also, it's a season of personal growth and perfecting your practice. It's a season to boldly embrace what is working. And I wish to also underscore for those of us who are in that season of mastery, I got this. I know what works. I'm on it and everything. Be mindful of distractions. I'm of Nigerian birth. And in my culture, there is a term, okay, I'm going to teach you. There's a term we interpret as sugar eyes. Sugar eyes in my native language is called ojukokoro, but what that just means is sugar eyes. Sugar eyes is, imagine an ant who has just his eye bulbs are just full of sugar. All he sees is sugar, 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 sugar. So many of us sometimes, and with no disrespect, I mean that cheerfully, friends, is sometimes many of us have sugar eyes. Sugar eyes is, ooh, all of a sudden you're like, ooh, you see something else, and then you want to hop into something else. And let's be real, many of us face that in our community. I think all of us face that in our community, that moment of sugar eyes where we're like, ooh, all I see is sugar, another planner, another planner, another planner. So you want to be mindful. If you've identified what works for you, the way to be consistent is to embrace what is working and limit sugar eyes. Keep blinking until the sugars fall off your eyes. Eyes, keep blinking, blink. Can I get some blinks in the room? Everybody blink, 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 blink. So if you recall Crystal's comment before, it's true. That's exactly it. She says, "Oh, the distraction is real. I have been in the season of mastery and got the sugar eyes and ended up with all the things." I know. So the season of mastery has its pluses, but it also has its challenges. So you want to be mindful of distractions. You want to be mindful of overconfidence, and you also want to be mindful of passivity, because sometimes when you've realized what works, then you don't even do anything. You're like, well, I know what works, but then you never go into planning. Then you stop planning. Then you stop journaling. Then you stop writing. Then you stop typing into your digital planner things. So you want to be mindful of overconfidence and passivity. Okay. So here are some ways that you can grow in this season, continue to grow in this season. Consider becoming a planner mentor. So, friends, Bloom team and NOTIQ team, we have taken on a fresh commitment to our community. We are sold out as a team together to help more people in our community. And so one of the terms that we're adopting and we're putting out there is we want to see more planner mentors. Is there anybody in this room that would raise their hands and say, I want to be a planner mentor? We want to raise and inspire more planner mentors in our community. And that's what the benefit of that season of mastery is. Once you've identified what works, rather than drowning away in a season of sugary eyes or sugar eyes, why don't you consider becoming a mentor? Create videos to mentor others on your style, what's working for you, so that somebody else can embrace it. What Kay and I are doing today, we're actually being planner mentors. What Kaylyn is doing, even though she's behind the scenes, when we get together and we work together, we are all planner mentors. The team NOTIQ here, we're all planner mentors. We're looking at how to pass on the gift, the blessing of being able to plan to the next generation, to somebody else. There's somebody that could use your inspiration for your mastery, okay? So consider becoming a planner mentor to others, sharing the value you gain from consistency and dedication when you are in this season. All right, Caitlin, do you want to highlight some of the comments? I'm seeing some comments about planner mentors. Oh, yes. Latosha says, I would love to be one. I think I saw a comment from Carrie Grace. Yes. She says, I love the idea of planner mentors. Diva of Style Studios says, I could certainly be a planner mentor. I feel like I already do that for others. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing that. Yes. Crystal Gainey says, yes, planner mentors. Passing the knowledge is key to the community to sustain and grow. Absolutely. Joni Mills says, chronic illness will be good. I'm a caregiver for cancer patient. Okay, so fantastic. She's catching up on the videos. We're so delighted. So delighted. Diva of Style, did I read your comment again? She says, I could certainly be a planner mentor. I feel like I'm ready to do that. Thank you so much. So much. So friends, before we move into the next segment of our presentation, tell us, what season are you in? We want to know. Tell us in the comment section, what season are you in? And then I'm going to turn it over to Kay to give us some ideas and some tips. Over to you, Kay.
Yes. And if you are a planner mentor, please comment on the actual like YouTube stream so that people can find you, because just like VJ's saying, you are inspiring. You inspire people to plan more effectively and live a more fulfilling life. So really take advantage of that and lean into that, because we all love and appreciate it. So I am not in my season of mastery. I am in my season of discovery, being 24 weeks pregnant. But I have some lovely examples to share from our community. And as you were describing that, I'm thinking, I'm looking at you, Nikki, aka Carrie Grace, because you are certainly a master that inspires us. And I know you're joining us today. So here are some lovely examples from our community who have really mastered their planning craft. And we love to see this. So please share your examples, feedback, and reach out to us, because we would love to see it. But we have here an ideal week schedule. So getting down to all of the details, when do you operate best? What does your schedule look like? And breaking that all down, especially if you're a busy mom, juggling kids and everyone's schedule and kind of the operator of the household. This is something that would really be key for you. We also have some impressive habit tracking, which again, I am not in the season of mastery. I look up to these people and I hope to one day be there, but we love to see just the consistency, which we're going to talk about, of the different items like habit tracking and your yearly goals and growth. And this is the season to really harness and tap in to your planner persona. Like Jay's saying, don't get distracted with maybe some tools that aren't working for you. Zone in on your planner persona and what works best for you. And really focus there because that's going to make the biggest difference. I think we might have a couple more examples. This is a Bloom Dot journaling planner with a mood tracker. This looks like a creator persona, I would say.
Yes. Yes.
And then we have a Bloom Vision Planner, again, incorporating some different to-do lists and stickers. And we just wanted to share and inspire what members of the community are doing, because I think that's what it's all about, helping each other. And so if you are a planner mentor or you aspire to be a planner mentor, we would love to hear from you and see your examples because you all inspire us.